for not allowing my wife to access my salary and making her work 50 hours per week so that she has more money for herself? My wife, 35F, and I, 28M, have been together for 4 years and married for 2. We have 1 child together, 2M. My wife and I have significantly different incomes. She earns $45K per year working as a store manager while I earn $250K per year as a computer engineer for a big company. For almost of all our marriage, we combined our finances. There was no concept of my money and her money. Both of our salaries would go into a joint account from which our bills would be paid. Of the money that is left over, some is put a savings account, a college fund for our son, down payment for a house, and the remainder is shared equally between us in our own separate accounts for ourselves. I usually try to use my share of the money on some stock trades or to grab a beer with a couple of friends. Most of the time, I have around 50% of the money left over. My wife on the other hand blows through the money like no tomorrow. She buys expensive shoes, dresses, goes to these high-end spas and restaurants with her friends. She wasn't like this before we got married and combined finances. I've expressed my concerns to her about spending, but she said she has the right to spend her money how she sees fit. She didn't have a lot of luxury growing up, so she sees her current spending as catching up for what she didn't have. Since we agreed that we can do what we want with our share of the savings, I dropped the issue. But I told her she's on her own for any discretionary personal expenses that she can't pay for. She said okay and we moved on. Last month, I got a notification there was a $5,000 charge on the credit card for our joint account. I called her up to ask her why she made such a big expense. She told me it was because she bought a new purse from LV. I asked her why she didn't use her own personal credit card. She said she didn't have enough in her personal account. I lost my shit. I told her how dare she take money from our shared finances like that without asking me. She acted like it was no big deal. I hung up and asked my company to redirect my salary to my personal account. I also locked her out of our shared savings account lest she do anything stupid like that again. When she found out, she started crying because I don't trust her. I told her I'll trust her when she starts to behave responsibly. She has a girls' trip planned in January for a friend's bachelorette and she can't afford it without my salary, so she's now had to work 10 hours extra a week so that she can make that trip. She complained to her family and they started blowing up my phone calling me an asshole for financially abusing her. I told them to stay out of marriage and block their numbers. But I'm starting to feel guilty for taking the nuclear option. AITA?